All right, good evening. I'm going to call to order the July 1st, 2025 Kalamazoo County Board of Commissioners regular business meeting. Our first item is item number 1, and Vice Chair Pro Tem Hepler has agreed to lead us in that this evening.
Thank you, Chair. Please stand. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the many blessings that you have bestowed upon us. And as we are getting closer to the birthday of this great nation that has given us the many blessings and many opportunities to do for our community, our friends, our family, our nation, and our country, and our world. Please watch over us, watch over our friends and family, watch over our community, guide them in doing the right things and providing for their families, their friends, and for their community. In your name we pray. Amen. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Thank you, Commissioners. We'll go to item 3, which is call of the roll. Clerk.
Commissioner Mazer,
Here.
Commissioner Morales,
Present.
Commissioner Ray, Chair Stubbs,
Here.
Vice Chair Taylor,
Here.
Commissioner Wheeler,
Here.
Commissioner DeLue,
Here.
Commissioner Gisler, Vice Chair Pro Tem Hepler.
Here.
8 present.
Good, thank you for that. We'll move forward to item number 4. We have proclamations. First, we have item 2025-398, request for approval of the Summer Learning Day proclamation for 2025. Moved by Commissioner Ray, supported by Vice Chair Pro Tem Hepler. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. We will go to item 5, communications. We have item 2025-729. We received a Washtenaw County resolution, item 25-123, opposing the MDHHS plan for the competitive procurement for health plans. I will just, I'm going to speak to that briefly. We'll have some comments later to share about looming Medicaid cuts. This resolution we've received from Washtenaw is through basically the administrative rulemaking function and state government that really poses a risk to our public mental health sector. It opens a competitive process for the oversight of community mental health service programs in the state, and none of the organizations which administer that function, which are private or public entities at this time, are able to participate in the procurement process. So this opens up the opportunity for nonprofit privatization of our public mental health system, and that changes the nature potentially of how our community mental health programs work, and I fear will have a very negative effect on the people that rely on public mental health services. So thanks you to Washtenaw County for lifting up that issue to us. All right, I'll go to item number 6 is approval of minutes. Item 2025-755, approval for the June 17th draft committee of the whole and regular meeting minutes. Motion is made by Vice Chair Taylor and supported by Vice Chair Pro Tem Hepler. Any further discussion or concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. We'll go now to item 7 for approval of the agenda.
Chair, I move that we approve the agenda as presented.
Motion is made by Vice Chair Taylor, supported by Commissioner Wheeler. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Our agenda is set. Item 8 is for presentations. We have none at this meeting tonight. Item 9 is for public hearings. There are also none this evening. It takes us to item 10. This is our first opportunity in this session for public comment. This can be made in person or by phone. If you are participating with us virtually, you will call 855-925-2801, enter meeting code 10748, and press star 3 to join the speaker queue. Callers may request to join the speaker queue at any time during the whole meeting, but before our final public comment period has ended. You'll be permitted to speak during the public comment session for which you requested to join. If you wish to speak during both, you may press star 3 again after the first session concludes. Speakers will be recognized in the order that their requests are received. Whether you join us virtually or in person, please share your name, where you're from. You have up to 3 minutes to address the board on a topic of your choice in a respectful manner. Do we have anybody wishing to make a public comment? Do we have anyone online?
Chair, we do not.
Thank you, Dina. All right, seeing and hearing none, the only public comments we had were the comments about public comment. And we'll go on. Let's go to item 11 is our consent agenda items.
Chair, I move that we vote on all consent agenda items at one time and be considered a consent agenda by the board.
Support.
Motion made by Vice Chair Taylor, supported by Vice Chair Pro Tem Hepler. Is there any further discussion? I'll just elevate, I still really don't like that we don't read the consent agenda, and I wish we were doing that. So if you pull up our agendas online, you can read what we're voting on. It is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 items. All right, with that, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Oh, sorry, thank you. I try to do that every time. Clerk, please call a roll. Thank you.
Commissioner, excuse me, Commissioner DeLu,
Yes.
Commissioner Gisler, Vice Chair Pro Tem Hepler,
Yes.
Commissioner Mazer,
Yes.
Commissioner Morales,
Yes.
Commissioner Ray,
Yes.
Chair Stubbs,
Yes.
Vice Chair Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Wheeler.
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you, Clerk. That motion carries. All right, we'll go to item 12. This is for unfinished business and general orders. So here we have item 2025-740. So request for approval of the resolution to authorize Administrator Controller to enter into contract negotiations with the City of Kalamazoo to form the Kalamazoo County Event Center Assessment District Authority.
Chair, I'll make that motion to approve a resolution to authorize Administrator Controller to enter into contract negotiations with the City of Kalamazoo to form the Kalamazoo County Events Center Assessment District Authority.
Thank you. Motion is made by Vice Chair, supported by Vice Chair Pro Tem Hepler. We'll open for discussion. Vice Chair.
Thank you. And this is probably more of a comment to our Administrator Controller. Complete total faith in your ability. I just would like, as you enter into those contract negotiations, you put the as many of the purchasing policies and the building policies that we can follow from the county as possible. Thank you.
Any further discussion? I will concur with that. We want to see a open, competitive process as we move forward to a construction phase later. All right, all those in favor, we're going to call a roll on this vote, actually. Clerk, please call a roll.
Commissioner Gisler, Vice Chair Pro Tem Hepler,
Yes.
Commissioner Mazer,
Yes.
Commissioner Morales,
Yes.
Commissioner Ray,
Yes.
Chair Stubbs,
Yes.
Vice Chair Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Wheeler,
Yes.
Commissioner DeLu,
Yes.
8 yes.
All right, that motion carries. We'll go forward to new business, item 13, item 2025-756. This is a request for approval for the Board of Commissioners to, 1, suspend our board bylaws, 2, to remove Commissioner Ray from the Land Bank Authority at her request, 3, to approve the appointment of Vice Chair Taylor to the Land Bank Authority, and 4, to approve appointment of Commissioner Ray as our Commissioner Liaison to the Land Bank Authority. This here will be suspending our bylaws will require a 2/3 vote of the body in order to do this, and I would entertain this motion.
Yeah, make the motion.
Yes, please.
I would like to make the motion for 2025-756 to suspend the bylaws, remove Commissioner Ray from the Land Bank, approve the appointment of Vice Chair Taylor to the Land Bank Authority, and approve the appointment of Tammy Ray as Commissioner Liaison to the Land Bank Authority.
Thank you. A lot of steps to that, all 1 through 4. So motion is made by Vice Chair Pro Tem and supported by Commissioner Ray. Is there discussion? Commissioner Morales.
So this is my first time hearing something like this. This is only suspending just for this action, correct?
That is correct. So
Okay.
once the vote is taken, the bylaws are reinstated.
Okay, I just wanted to put that on record.
Yeah, thank you for clarifying. Any further discussion? Good. All right, with that, clerk, will you please call the roll?
Vice Chair Pro Tem Hepler,
Yes.
Commissioner Mazer,
Yes.
Commissioner Morales,
Yes.
Commissioner Ray,
Yes.
Chair Strebs,
Yes.
Vice Chair Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Wheeler,
Yes.
Commissioner DeLu,
Yes.
Commissioner Gisler, 8 yes.
Thank you. That motion carries. And thank you both to Vice Chair Taylor and Commissioner Ray for your ongoing service with the Land Bank Authority and the important work that they're doing and in your new roles there. Okay. Next, we go to item 2025-741. This is a request for authorization for County Administrator to enter into negotiations with Family Promise Incorporated to provide residential shelter and housing-focused case management at the landing place.
Chair, I would make that motion.
Motion is made by Vice Chair Taylor and supported by Commissioner Wheeler. Is there any discussion? All right,
Sorry.
thank you, Vice Chair.
I think this is a tremendous opportunity for our administrator. I'm going to wish him a happy birthday later, but this has the potential to be a huge model of a public-private partnership that can work throughout the state. And I've got full faith in this guy we're going to get it done. And I think we're going to do some really, really cool things with some of the least fortunate in our community. Thank you, Kevin. And thank you, Family Promise.
Thank you, Vice Chair. I think it is important, we've been trying to advance solutions for folks who are unhoused. Today, we advance a provider that will help administer the services at the landing place. We're hopeful for tremendous success for the lives of the families that this will serve for a long time, and to be a model for our local community too, about how when we work together and we believe in the value of other people, we can support each other to succeed and to stabilize. This is really important that we've accomplished today. Thank you to the whole board, your advocacy while we debated over how to advance this project, and there's a lot to be thankful for in getting this to the finish line today. All right, with that, we can go with a voice vote here. So all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Are there any opposed? That motion carries. Commissioner Morales.
Okay, under new business, gonna try this again. I'd like to make a motion that the board go back to reading the consent agenda aloud.
Thank you. Motion made by Commissioner Morales and supported by Vice Chair Wheeler. I'm sorry. Just so used to saying it over and over in the meeting. You never know though, right? Commissioner Wheeler, thank you. All right, is there discussion? Commissioner Morales?
Yes, I just feel like since we moved the time back to 6:30, the meeting we're going through it as Pro Tem Hepler says expeditiously, and then I feel like we spend more time on personal feelings as opposed to conducting business for the county. So that's my main reason. And yes, it's online, but there are still people who can't get to it online, and it's a lot to go through that packet. So I just feel like we should get back to reading it aloud. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Morales. Any others? Vice Chair.
Yeah, I respect Commissioner Morales's intent here, and I could go along with reading the consent agenda, but what we're reading here on the consent agenda is only about 40%. Most of it goes through the administrator's agenda, and then it goes through our claims list. I mean, through the claims list is really where most of the stuff is coming from. I mean, the amendment to access the visitation grant with state court admitted office for friend of the court. I mean, those little tiny, I don't think that provides the transparency. If we're looking for transparency, I mean, I'd be happy to sit down and come up with a way that we can be more transparent in this process. But really, our claims list is where most of the stuff gets done, and nobody wants to read the 900 pages of how we're 800 pages of how we're spending every nickel and dime of county dollars. So I don't look at most of these as any sort of opening up of transparency process to the public. In my opinion, it's just a little bit of the fluff, and if you really want to get transparent of it, you got to dig through the claims list. But that's my 2 cents.
Thank you, Vice Chair.
Council.
Council.
Madam Chair, has that the motion contemplates a change in procedure. This calls for a roll call vote. Thank you.
I appreciate that clarification. So, I'll add here, certainly some of the items that we will advance and read aloud in the consent agenda are benign or pretty perfunctory. But another example to elevate from our consent agenda tonight was that we accepted and we signed a multi-year general operations grant with the Kalamazoo Community Foundation for the Landing Place Family Shelter in the amount of $100,000 for 3 years, and authorized the administrator controller to sign the documents. So, there are some that are more mundane. We'll do housekeeping items. We'll do things that may not have much of an impact to read aloud. But we've exhausted our agenda. We've been here 20 minutes, So part of the rationale for not reading it, was to save time. And it doesn't take, this would maybe take a long consent agenda would take at the most 5 minutes to read. And people might not understand what it is we're talking about when we read through some of the items, but some of them they will. Right now, you have to go in and actually pull the documents up and read them, rather than being able to watch your Board of Commissioners discuss what it is they're doing. And we would provide more transparency on the claims list if we ask more questions about it. We can do that not just for our own understanding, but to elevate understanding for the community. And Vice Chair Taylor is very good about digging into that and asking questions. And so I agree with that. And most of what we do is in the details of it is in our claims list. But I would support the change, as I stated. Thank you. Commissioner Morales, you have another? Please. Thank you, Commissioner Mazer.
Well, I don't support it. Going back to reading the consent agenda. And I also, this is no surprise, I really don't like adding things to the agenda that I didn't know about ahead of time. So, I'd like to get feedback, and I'd prefer to wait to vote on this.
Thank you for sharing that. Vice Chair?
Yeah, if we could table this to the next meeting, I may vote for it. if you want to wait. It's not going to make any difference now. We already passed the agenda. But I really, if we're going after transparency, and I'm 100% behind that, I don't think reading the consent agenda is anything more, but I think it's just a Band-Aid. I don't think it's really transparent, but that's my 2 cents.
Commissioner Morales.
So the last thing I was gonna say is, when we do read it, I get more folks coming to me in the public saying, oh, you read this, what does this mean? Because they're not really reading through this. So I know for myself, I get more traction with conversations in the community when they're watching and they do this, even when they start watching it later. So if it's not a big deal, then let's put it back on the agenda. I mean, we're making this if it's not a big deal. And anyway, that's my 5 cents.
Thank you, Commissioner Morales. Any further discussion? All right. I would agree. It is an opportunity for a little more dialogue. Okay, with that, we will call the roll.
Commissioner Morales,
Of course, yes.
Commissioner Ray,
Yes.
Chair Strubs,
Yes.
Vice Chair Taylor, Commissioner Wheeler,
Yes.
Commissioner DeLu,
Of course, no.
Commissioner Gisler, Vice Chair Pro Tem Hepler, Commissioner Mazer,
No.
4 yes.
It's a 4. That motion ties, then it dies, so that motion fails. We did. I appreciate that, commissioners. Thank you so much. Okay, so with that, we'll come back to our final opportunity for public comment. Again, just to read the number virtually, members can chime in virtually by calling 855-925-2801 and dialing code 10748 and then pressing *3. You may also join us in public or virtually. If you do, please share your name and where you're from. And welcome to you for public comment. Hi.
Thank you. My name is Lisa Cruden. I am talking on behalf of Family Promise, and I just want to acknowledge the excitement that we have to enter negotiations regarding the family shelter at the landing place here in Kalamazoo. Many of you probably have started understanding a little bit more about who Family Promise is. And as a national organization, we have 200 locations throughout the United States. So we're just excited to bring that expertise, bring that deep care and commitment for communities, especially children and families, right? That they have a safe place to be. We're going to be able to really lean on that national network of not just people and locations, but of experience and training and advocacy work that we've been doing for 40 years nationally as an organization. And then more locally, West Michigan has a Family Promise that has been in operation for the last 30 years. I had the pleasure of serving there as their chief program officer for the last 13. And we've done some incredible things in opening really large shelters, really small shelters, partnering with our community, our local municipalities, and ensuring that families with children have access to all of their needs, their educational needs, their health needs, their physical, mental, emotional needs, and most importantly, safe and affordable housing. So we're really proud of that work. And then to get to do it here in Kalamazoo and bring that to our local level, using all of that experience, that deep commitment to making sure that every child has an opportunity to thrive. Every parent has an opportunity for safe place to land for that moment while they're trying to identify their next permanent housing location. We're excited to partner with Kalamazoo, provided this all continues to go in the way that we hope it does, and really, engage our community. That is what we're here for. So, we're a national organization, but we're here to partner with our friends in Kalamazoo to find out locally what your schools are doing, what your libraries are doing, right? What your other, feeding programs are doing, what your COC is doing. Find out where we can fit in, where we can collaborate, where we can bring maybe some of our expertise into that space. and be able to make sure that, you know, we're going to build an affiliate here in Kalamazoo that is local, that is, you know, who are the people doing the work that are excited to continue to make sure that the community of Kalamazoo cares for the youngest and the most vulnerable population. We know homelessness is impacting everyone, and from all the things that we can see and know that is happening nationally, it's not going to get any better anytime soon. So we need people like Kalamazoo who are willing, and the county of Kalamazoo, to open up an amazing space. I've had the pleasure of walking through it. I can't wait. I've opened up, you know, large shelters that same size. I've done COVID things where we've had 80 to 100 rooms used in a hotel during those few years that we had during the pandemic. And this is an exciting time for Kalamazoo, and Family Promise is honored to have a little part of that and make sure that our families and kids here are as supported as they should be. So on behalf of Family Promise, thank you. We are super excited to partner with you all and see what good work and what big impact we can have together. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Do we have anybody else wishing to make public comment? All right.
Chair, we don't have anybody online.
Thank you so much, Dina. All right, with that, we will close public comment. We'll move to our final, which is the reports of our officers, bodies, administrator, and controller. Pardon me. So we'll start off with the happiest news of tonight. So I think heard stated already, and I nearly forgot earlier, so shame on me. So happy birthday to Dr. Kevin Catlin. Yes. We're happy you're here celebrating with us. We're thankful to have you. A year of service, another year of service completed with you, and it's an honor every day to get to call you a colleague. I wish you a very happy birthday. All right. You know, we got our annual housing report. We're going to be in that scoring phase. I'm excited for our ad hoc committee to dig into that. I want to congratulate our housing department, advancing the work, looking at what we've accomplished over the last few years to helping us through this initial RFP process. So both to Director Balkema and Ms. Toronto, just stellar work from both of you, and we look forward to continuing to advance that with that deep focus on affordability for our lowest income community members. We also saw some moves at the federal level today that I'm sure folks you know, who are tuned into politics probably saw about already, but I am going to touch on it a little bit. So the Senate today, the tie-breaking vote from our current vice president passed the current administration's priority legislation through their reconciliation process. This now goes back to the House of Representatives for a final vote as they bring the two versions of that bill together. And so there is another opportunity for advocacy, and I don't want us to miss that opportunity or to give up on that opportunity. So locally, our representative in Congress is Representative Bill Huizenga. He has a local office here in Portage. He will welcome a visit from you, as his staff would as well. You can find that at 5228 Lovers Lane, Suite 108 in Portage, Michigan. The phone number to that office is 269-569-8595. You also can reach them on the Washington switchboard. You can reach him at his federal office and his staffers there. You might want to call them both. There you can reach them at 202-225-4401. Lots of talk about the impacts that the potential bill might have, and I'm just going to lift up just a couple of them. I've spent my life, my professional life, serving people with developmental disabilities and mental illnesses. And when I started in that work in the 90s, most of the people, the adults that I cared for, were individuals who earlier in their lives had been institutionalized. And they were now served in community-based settings. And I want to tell you what life for people who lived in state institutions was like a little bit, right? It'd be common to have a staff person to 60 individuals. And these are individuals who maybe cannot speak, cannot feed themselves, could not dress or walk or toilet themselves. And most of those skills they didn't have because of the severe deprivation that they suffered in institutional settings. If you're not familiar, there's a book called A Christmas in Purgatory. And I encourage you to Google that book. You'll take a brief look at some of the images of a blind child sleeping on concrete, naked, with no one there to interact with them, to care about them, to love them. Many of the adults that lived through decades like that of their lives were very challenging people to serve. They often had significant behavioral issues. They had fear and trauma and PTSD from a life lived in institutions. Over 50 years ago, President Kennedy launched the community mental health movement. And Medicaid funding through Medicaid waivers funds home and community-based services, where people might live in group homes. They might live in their own family home with their mom and dad the way they should grow up, and have staff support that can come in and help that child with autism gain skills. And they're integrated into schools, and they play with other children, and they have dreams. And they accomplish those dreams because the community saw their value, the humanity of them, and supported it. And I'll tell you, the folks that grew up in the community had a much bigger view of the world that they could live in. Dreams of jobs, of getting married, of having their own places. The same people that 50 years before would have been shivering in a corner and deeply traumatized for decades of their life. The bill before Congress is going to drastically cut Medicaid services, Medicaid funding by over $800 billion. And there is no way to accomplish that without deeply gutting the funding for the most vulnerable, for seniors in nursing care, for the disabled in community-based settings, for people with disabilities, rather. And that's such a shame. It's something that we'll be deeply ashamed of in the future. And we don't have to stand for it. And so I hope that we don't. So use your voice, don't give up, and fight back. The other thing I wanted to elevate from the legislation, which is much more draconian and very concerning, is the expansion of funding for immigration enforcement and border enforcement over I'm not going to remember the exact amount, a 700% increase to immigrations and customs enforcement, which will now receive more funding the entire Federal Bureau of Prisons. Now, when I say that, the Federal Bureau of Prisons, we incarcerate more people in the United States than any country on earth. And we just decided to compound that by 5. Your government decided to do that. I read advocacy groups, people who are helping with legal advocacy in ICE detention facilities, and they talked about how Individuals are being work camped, so they're incarcerated. They are still brought out into the field by the private for-profit prison that we pay to house them in. They're taken out into the fields on contract, could continue to do the labor they were doing out as a free person in the community, and they get paid $1 a day to do that work, and then they get to spend that dollar, the $5 they make for the week, and you know what they get to buy for that? A phone call to their family. So now instead of feeding their family as a free person, they get to cry on the phone to them for the $5 they earn for their back-breaking work. What a shame. Know what's done in your name. And I know 4 years of listening to me do this will be so tiring, and I'm so sorry, but we'll keep fighting until we win. Thank you, Vice Chair.
Thank you, Chair. We're doing exciting work at the land bank. We're doing exciting work with the building authority, working with our Dr. Catlin and our corporate counsel, getting a new responsible bidder contract policy that ensures that those that are paying taxes in our community will reap the benefits of the contracts awarded for these projects. I feel very strongly on that. Those that are living here and paying their millages here should have a leg up when it comes to bidding on some of these projects. Also, I'm so happy about this. I'm going to read it. It was another letter from Dr. Catlin of our undue medical debt. $2,485,000 of medical debt has been relieved and eliminated from Kalamazoo County residents' bills. They're no longer owed $2.5 million because of the actions that we took around this dais. And that's only going to grow. We are making people's lives better at a local level. And I think it's commendable to everybody here. And just like when we have a lot of different ideas, I think the collection of our ideas is better than any one individual's ideas when we come to this dais. And so I'm really, really, really proud of that. And then I'm going to end with the happy news. Happy birthday, Kevin.
Vice Chair Pro Tem.
Thank you, Chair. I'm going to start with wishing Dr. Kaplan a happy birthday and many more to come. Appreciate all the hard work that you and your staff and our staff, or I should say our staff, it's our staff, and the hard work we're doing to make Kalamazoo a great place to live, work, and play. We've done a lot in our community. We've got a lot coming. We had a great presentation tonight about household hazardous waste. We're also looking at the things we're going to do to try to mitigate the amount of stuff we're sending to landfills and recycle it and bring it, make our Mother Earth a better place to live. So our staff is working on that. We've got committees that are working on these things. It's, again, what makes this county a great place to live, work, and play. As we're approaching the birthday of our nation, our 4th of July celebration, we need to reach out to all those that have served our country in the military and thank them for their duties, thank them for their service. Our police, our fire, our medical folks, all have, they strive during these hard times and keeping our communities a safe place and doing things. Please take a moment to tell them thanks for what they do. I want to wish everybody in our county and in our state to have a safe 4th of July and be with your families. Appreciate the times that we have together, and thank you. Have a good night.
Enjoy that vacation you're going to take. Administrator Kellen.
All right. Thank you, Chair, Vice Chair Pro Tem, Commissioners, audience. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I really do appreciate it. And there isn't a place I'd rather be. No, really, no. I really do enjoy. I really do enjoy my job here. We have great staff, great board of commissioners, just a great team overall, great community. So happy to be here. I am my own worst enemy, and so I do have a have to go to birthday dinner after this. So, but I do have some things to share with the board and the community, and a public service announcement from HCS. So, just really quick, want to highlight some emergency management coordination and exercises that we've been planning. So, Director Janes has been really strengthening coordination efforts with our local partners, community partners, been actively working on scheduling tabletop exercises across the county. The next one is scheduled actually with the city of Portage on July 10th, and it'll focus on refining emergency response strategies and interagency communication. Additionally, she's working with the Texas Charter Township Fire Department to begin kind of just providing an overview of the county's response framework and our communications protocols during severe weather events. And we plan on compiling all of that information to share with all townships so that everyone has consistent information, as well as all of our other local partners and so on and so forth. So the outreach is really vital for us to build community readiness and ensure municipalities are aligned with the county's emergency response protocols and standards. Next look at our next topic is budget process and kind of the state's fiscal outlook. So as a reminder, the budget retreat is scheduled July 29th from noon to 5:30 rather in room B at the Expo Center. We'll be presenting the comprehensive update on the county's financial standing, current budget pressures, and alignment with our strategic priorities. A particular note this year, I wanted to highlight that the state of Michigan's budget process remains delayed, just in case you all didn't know. And our legislative lobbyist rather is indicating that the state's fiscal 25-26 budget may not be finalized until around September this year, which is really delayed, and he's in the trenches, so he has high confidence that it's going to be really delayed. This delay will create uncertainty for counties' programs related to whether it's the court system, whether it's HCS, that rely on state appropriations beyond what the general fund supports. So we'll continue to monitor this ahead of our budget retreat and ensure that we prepare contingency plans for the board to consider. I know Commissioner Gisler isn't here, but we had a conversation about the Kalamazoo Conservation District's tire collection program. So I just wanted to highlight that for the community because we've been in touch with them because the board has supported a $5,000 operating expense for them going forward to assist with that tire collection program. So under this partnership, we're providing that $5,000 in operational support from the Office of Emergency Management to help offset some of the costs that are associated with that program. They've already held a tire collection event on June 10th. The next one is scheduled July 26th and then August 7th. So we'll have 3 this year. One's already occurred. And then in addition to collecting and disposing of tires, the Conservation District will report on the outcomes and participant engagement, and that we'll send out to the Board of Commissioners as well, so you have that information. The next topic I wanted to discuss was parking garage progress updates. So you'll be happy to note that we received the final design for the parking garage last Thursday for our new parking garage, a critical infrastructure component that supports this building and the Justice Center, and then also community public access. So Deputy Administrator Cole has been working hard and issued a request for proposals for a construction manager so that we're well ahead of the curve on that. And that's the next major milestone for the project. And then once that construction manager is selected, we'll finalize the construction schedule, share that with the board, and then key milestones as well with the board, including kind of the financing mechanisms that we will adopt and that we will recommend adopting, whether that's financing the project with cash, bonding it out, or a combination of both. So we're looking at strategic partnerships and financing around that. The next topic of interest, and this is one of the last 2 topics, is new opioid settlement agreements. This is something that'll come into the future, probably around September, because that's when the county board action is required. So we're expected to receive additional funds as part of 2 national opioid settlement agreements, the National Consortium in partnership with this they call the Plaintiffs Executive Committee has finalized new settlements with a group of manufacturers, and there's just a slew of them that one of them is, I think the most prominent is Sandoz, but the companies were not part of previous settlements. So these new settlement terms include $844 million in cash payments to state and local governments, and then $355 million in medications to treat opioid addiction and reverse overdoses. So Kalamazoo County would likely receive a part of that, and we don't know what that is yet. All of that, all the details are being finalized. The board would have to decide if they would want to enter into that settlement, and so that's the action that will be required in the future. So we'll have more information to share at a later date on that as well. And then lastly, a public service announcement regarding the Jamestown Canyon virus. So we wanted everyone to be advised that our Kalamazoo County Health and Community Services Department has confirmed the first positive detection of Jamestown Canyon virus in a mosquito pool this season. And the mosquito pool is mainly it's essentially a mechanism that we use to test for these sort of things. So JCV is spread through mosquito bites and can cause flu-like symptoms or, in rare cases, severe illness. So HCS encourages residents to use repellents, wear protective clothing, avoid peak mosquito hours, eliminate standing water, and use window screens to prevent bites. And mosquito surveillance will continue through September this year. That's all I have this evening, and happy to answer any questions if there are any. Thank you.
Thank you, Administrator. Commissioner Ray.
Thank you, Chair. Just want to know, what time is peak mosquito hour?
Okay, yeah, so staff is saying from dusk to dawn, so mosquito peak hours, dusk to dawn.
Yeah, sort of like dusk and dawn, right? So, yeah, thank you. All right, Commissioner Ray, you want to lead us off?
Oh, sure. Don't have very many comments. I did receive the update about the medical debt and was excited about that. I do have a few questions related to the demographics. So I'll send you an email and then just want to say happy birthday. I hope you have fun.
Commissioner Wheeler.
Thanks, Chair. Great work, exciting things, even if it is a short night. We're doing very exciting things. Happy birthday, Dr. Catlin. That's all. Have a great week.
Thank you. Commissioner Morales.
Thank you, Chair. Same sentiments. I won't sing to you, but happy birthday. Always good to spend another year with you and your amazing team. So thank you. To Chair Stribbs, don't apologize, even if we're sighing over here like, oh Lord, she's just right, opt-ed. But your sentiments to what's going on, when I saw the Vice President do the tiebreaker earlier today, it was very disheartening. And right now we don't feel the impact, but I just encourage folks to keep fighting, keep calling your representatives, because the privilege might not never feel it, but for those of us who depend on our parents receiving Medicaid, depend on our parents with low budget incomes, and ourselves, what we're going to look like in 20, 30 years. You never know when you're one step away from your last paycheck. So keep up the fight, and thank you for uplifting that, and good night.
Commissioner Mazer.
Just two items. Happy birthday, Doctor, and happy 4th of July, everyone.
Thank you. Commissioner DeLu.
Chair Stribbs, I always appreciate your comments, so no apology. To the administrator, thank you for the timely information on the debt relief. I just asked Chair Stribbs tonight, have you heard anything? And then okay, thank you. And I want to thank those who volunteered to be on the ad hoc committee for the housing millage. I really appreciate it, and I know you're all going to do a great job because that's where your passion is. And to Dr. Catlin, getting older is awesome, said no one ever. So it's not really a happy birthday. Darn, it's my birthday.
Good. All right. Thank you all for your work tonight. As we finished it, we're adjourned.